EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's Week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. A nice little gift there to start the ball game as they will begin things at the 4th. Winston to give. It's Kamara. Nifty move. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That's a gain of 13 and a very solid opening play for this offense.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. To throw is Winston. And this one is incomplete.
So this game here in London, the first of 5 games in the NFL International Series for 2022. We'll see the Giants and Packers here next week. Broncos and Jags at Wembley at the end of the month. The Seahawks and the Bucs, that'll be in November in Munich, Germany. First time a game's been held there. And then we wrap up down in Mexico City, November 21st, Cardinals and Niners from Estadio Azteca.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Now Winston. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. And Daniil Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Partner, I came into this game eager to see how they would hold up in man coverage. And on that play, they held up quite well.
Blake Gillikin on the punt now on 4th down.
And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. This is taken. Now a hit and a loose football. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we draw up. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking, though.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Winston. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted.
It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the Vikings force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
They start the drive with Cook.
He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. That time on the outside, pretty nice job as a cornerback to shed any would-be blockers and make the tackle.
And think about the praise we're giving him, what his coaches have given, but how about the respect he gets from his teammates to be a complete corner who doesn't just cover receivers, but also tackles ball carriers.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Pete Werner. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach on the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Smith catches left side.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
They go play action. Winston. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Johnson.
And the Saints are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
So 1st and goal from the 9-yard line.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Daniil Hunter, now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
3rd and goal, Winston. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Well, Zadarius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground.
It's up to how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Their 2nd drive here, the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now, back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
A 2nd down throw for Cousins. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4. The Vikings with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter.
And here's Ryan Wright now.
As his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Now a fair catch called for and taken here, and that'll set up his guys in great field position. Not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. 9 yards on the gain there, so he got half of it back, and it'll be 3rd down.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Winston. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
3rd and long for Winston. This is Smith with a grab. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Running their plays over and over during the week can often get robotic for an offense, but on game day they can often flow smoothly, as that one just did.
Winston. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Here's Winston. And that is incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batting down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jarvis Landry from 8 yards out. And they are able to add on to their advantage. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Winston now after the fumble recovery.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory.
48 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And some room to maneuver.
And he's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So he nearly took it the distance, gets him down inside the 10 for a 1st and goal.
I'd love to be in his head right now, because is he rewarding himself for a great run, or is he kicking himself because he didn't get all the way to the goal line?
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
No, they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. He will push his way down to about the 14. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway, because that's your strength.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It'll be a gain of 7, but still well short here with 4th and goal looming. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Cousins now.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big third down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Throwing is Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Cousins on 1st down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll throw again. Cousins. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And the Saints are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
Just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room. Meanwhile, Winston's throw taken in by Landry.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
On 1st and 10, Winston. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted.
Picked by Cameron Bynum.
And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
To throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. P.J. Williams with a pick.
And the Saints will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
The struggles continue here offensively. Still nothing for him on the scoreboard, and now an interception.
Yeah, the offense looks extremely sluggish, not really in sync at all. Dare I say, it looks like it got left behind in customs.
Oh, you've had that in your back pocket. You were waiting for that.
Probably should have left it in my back pocket, too.
Well played. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. To throw, Winston. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. So that one a hold, right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Here's Winston.
Oh, he'll look downfield for Kamara.
And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
And, Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Harrison Smith, and he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
It's another first down as they bite off 23 more on that one.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
On 1st and 10, Cousins.
And this one right back into the hands of Jefferson. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Throwing, Cousins. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Lightning speed that time from the corner. Marshawn Lattimore getting the sack. And here's Ryan Wright now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Kamara gets it again on second down. And he'll get this past the 20 as he gets about 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. Throwing, Winston. Looking for the out route. It's completed to Landry. And he is going to have a Saints first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. And now he's really knocking on the door for 700. That is career catch 699. Kamara up the middle. 113 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Again, it's Kamara. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now Winston. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. That reception, it brings him up to the 700 plateau. He's at 700 career NFL catches now.
And that club in baseball, a rather exclusive club, and one we talk about all the time. In football, puts you in the top 50 all-time range. Not so bad either.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Yeah, he was looking for the check-up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
And some room to roam now. Finding room at midfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down.
To the right side and complete to Jefferson. And they'll work this down inside the 30. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd and 2. Up the middle, it's Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his third rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter. Joseph connects on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
From the 29, Winston. Here's Johnson with a reception. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
First grab for Thomas. It's good for a first down as well.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith.
And the Vikings are right back in this football game.
A seismic shift in momentum here in the fourth quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. The interception sets them up with an opportunity to erase this fourth quarter deficit. And this series could very well determine our outcome. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the fourth quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few men in the box there.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Cousins. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
Second and 21. A lot of ground to cover.
Here's Cousins.
And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there? The leg's still there? This has been a tough game. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. To throw is Cousins. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game.
And here's Ryan Wright now
as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. Now Landry. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
164 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Winston to throw. And that is incomplete.
He took a shot there, but boy, was that ill-advised from my viewpoint. Coverage was awfully tight. How did he get away with that one not being picked off?
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
What a huge touchdown that was, obviously, here in the late stages of the 4th quarter as they try to put this one away.
And, Brandon, when they watch the film after this week, They'll be very proud of every rep if they close this game out. Just a few snaps remaining. They can't relax just yet.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
A first down throw for Cousins. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. Did make 1 more play. Could have had our shutout.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It was Danielle Hunter to make the play in the backfield. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
No, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other.